So now whenever you get your Sedona system, this is the back of the plug. To prevent malfunction and bending of the copper wires in the plug that you slide on from the cable, take time, make sure you align the white markings and slide in slowly to connect the applicators. Another thing that may happen, listen everyone, these are medical plugs. Okay, one thing I spoke to Franz about months ago was, you know, can we find some type of plug that slides in easier, like a USB plug? And he said, well, the problem with that is that we're in clinics, thousands of clinics around the world, and to have these devices in clinics, we have to have a special medically approved plug. So that's what these are. They're medically approved plugs. But sometimes through moving your machine, there's an inside nut that tightens down. It's a plastic ring nut that tightens down from the inside on the plug that's on the back of your unit. And if that wiggles a little bit, if you see that it's loose, simply take your device. There's 4 screws in the bottom of it. Have someone help you and slowly open it, reach in there and just tighten the nut up. So, you know, that's not something that needs to be sent back to Michigan to be repaired. You can do it at home. I'll walk you through it. Franz can walk you through it, but just call me if that happens. I had that happen a week or so ago and I walked someone through it and we took care of the problem. Okay. So now looking at the back here, you've got applicator 1 and applicator 2. Just to make things simple, I always tell people to use applicator 1 for the mat, applicator 2 for the pillow. So in setting it up, you know, just plug in your cable. If you're looking at the back of it, it'll be on the right side. If you're looking from the front when you're setting it up, it'll be on your left-hand side. That way you know that the mat is applicator 1 and the pillow is applicator 2.
Hello everyone, Coach Jimmy K here with Sedona Pro PMF. Today I want to take you through the Sedona Pro control panel, how to operate and navigate through the menu. Okay, here we have the pillow attached to it. We have the control panel here. So what we're going to do right now, it's off. So we're going to come around, turn it on from the back. There's a little toggle switch. So we turn it on. You see the screen flash. And then it goes off. Now what it's doing is it's booting the computer. You'll see the little light right here around the dial come on. Once that comes on, in a few seconds, the screen will come on. We'll wait a few seconds for that to prompt up. There we go, it loads. Now this is a computer, okay? State-of-the-art computer. So whenever it prompts, it will ask you which applicator to choose. Generally, I tell people always put the mat on number 1 and the pillow on number 2. And so we have the pillow hooked up to it, and so it's lit up, or the color is brown because something's hooked up to the applicator 1. So what we want to do is we want to tap 1. That's going to always prompt to the wellness program. Now you can change the programs by simply taking your finger and sliding across. It's very sensitive, okay? So what I tell people to do is instead of doing that sometimes, you may want to take the toggle wheel here and simply go clockwise or counterclockwise to which program you want to use. So let's go to wellness here. What we're going to do is once we have wellness here in the screen, we're going to tap that and then it will bring up the number 1 program. Over here on the left, you have which setting in the program it is, setting number 1, and it'll show what frequency it is, what type of wave it is, the intensity level that is in default, and then 30-minute allocated time, which you see 30 minutes here also. Over here is the back or arrow back, the home, and then also the as far as settings for lighting and all. We'll go through those in a few minutes. So let's say we didn't want to do number 1, we wanted to do number 2. So what I tell people to do simply is to tap that and then take your toggle wheel and scroll. So you can see how it goes all the way down to number 12. So let's go back here. Number 1, we saw it was 1 hertz, sinusoidal wave, 30 minutes. Number 2 is 1 to 3.5, 30 minutes, and the intensity is 100%. We go number 3 is 1 to 5. It's always going to show you on the screen what frequency, what hertz range it is. Number 4 is the Schumann frequency. 5 is 10 hertz, but you can see it's rectangle wave now. Okay, it's changed. Number 6 is 1 to 10 hertz. What that means is it's going to go from 1 hertz to 10 hertz 8 times in a 30-minute session. So if you went an hour, it would go up and down, back and forth between 1 hertz and 10 hertz 10 times in an hour therapy session. Let's go to 7, 5 to 15 hertz, 25 hertz on number 8. Number 9 is 7 hertz rectangle wave again. Now let's say if we come back here to number 5, we want to do wellness number 5. It's 10 hertz in rectangle. But I don't want to do 100% intensity. I want to start off with maybe 50%. Or maybe Franz or Coach told you instead of starting off at 100%, let's go at 50% intensity level. So what you do is you simply tap that line where the intensity line is, and you can see where I tapped it, it was about at 53. So we can come and move the toggle wheel back to 50%. So that's set. Now instead of doing a 30-minute session, we want to do 60 minutes. So you tap the timeline and you can see it jumped up to 47 minutes. We're going to move this up to 60 minutes. Now you can also use your finger to slide it. Okay, like I can move it down here to 8 minutes, or I can move it up with the finger, but it's always, you know, either way you want to do, because the touch screen is very sensitive. So sometimes if your fingers are cold, the screen can't sense it. So a lot of times it's a whole lot easier just to take the wheel, spin it around to 60 minutes. So now we have the setting of which program we want to use, the intensity level, and the time. Now, if let's say we were going to do the wellness number 1 or wellness number 2, excuse me, and we wanted to sleep throughout the night with it on. So what we would do on the time is we would come here and we would tap that and we would pull it all the way over to the infinity. That means it's going to run nonstop all night long until you turn the machine off, right? So now once we have all that set, we simply hit start and it's running, okay? Now, if you have a secondary mat or a person that wants to run another program, what we do is we come back here to the home and we go and we hit number 2. And so what we want to do is, let's say, go to sport program and click that. And then we're going to come here and we're going to go down to sport 9, which is pain and inflammation. This is 5 to 15,000 hertz. We're at a 100% intensity level, 30-minute program. If you want to run it 45 minutes or 15 minutes, you know, it's dependent upon what the issue is. And so you can do that, and then we hit start, okay? So then the number 2, you can see up here in the top, we've got the number 1 applicator and number 2 applicator. The number 2 applicator is now running, it's running the pillow or the mat in the 5 to 15,000 hertz, right? Now we mentioned this little setting right here. If we tap that, then what we do is you can control the brightness of the screen. You can also control the little roller light around the roller. So what we simply do is click that, and then we can turn it down. You can see how the screen disappeared, and then I'm going to roll back up. You can see how it goes brighter, and we can make it real bright if you want to, or just bring it about 50% brightness level. And the reason for that is if you have a night light, you know, if you like to have a night light, then this could be your night light in your bedroom. But if you don't like night lights and you like to be in dark rooms, then the lightness, brightness of this screen will light up your room. You can also tap the roller brightness and turn the roller brightness down also. All right. So that's just a little quick tutorial. Now, since we did that, what you simply do is you hit the back, and you can see how that switched back to that screen. Okay. Now, if we want to, we can go to home, and it's going to go back to the applicator. And if we tap number 1, you'll see that the original one that we programmed, Wellness 5, 10 Hertz on infinity mode, is still running. Okay. And you can see now it doesn't show minutes here because it's infinite. Okay. If we want to go back to number 2, we can see that number 2 is still running, and it's at 27 minutes and 50 something seconds. All right. So I hope that kind of gave you a little overture on how to program your control module. I'm going to do another video on the custom program, how to set the custom programs. All right. So everyone have a blessed day, and we'll see you soon.
All right. Also, if you, instead of going to the house logo on the right side, if you want to go between let's say applicator 1, applicator 2, you can simply go up to the very top where it says 1 and 2 at the top of the screen, right side near the Sedona logo, and you can tap those and it will switch back and forth. I'll be doing another video. It's always good to, everything evolves, okay? And some people like to do, like some people don't want to use the wheel, they want to use their fingers. And then some people don't want to use the touch screen, they'd rather use the wheel. So it's, freedom of choice, whichever one you want to do. Now, then again, here we can see where we have the the settings button there. Also, you can see software update. You can see the buzzer. Like the buzzer is the sound. If you don't like the sound, a little beep letting you know, notification that the machine has come to the end of the program, then you can also mute the buzzer. And you can detect the left mat if it's writing, or the applicator 1, applicator 2 through that, and I'll have a video on that in the